We are back here with you from Stouffer Gymnasium in Thibodaux, where the Nicholls Colonels are a winner over Tulane for the first time in program history, 66-52, your final score. We chat here with Nicholls head coach J.P. Piper, and boy, this has to feel good. First LSU, now Tulane. It is to be known across the state of Louisiana that Nicholls is a force to be reckoned with this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the young men in that locker room. They have worked extremely hard. They bought into everything we've asked them to do, and they deserve this. And they're making history, and I hope we keep making history. I hope we do something really special this year. I think we have the makings to do that. You know, it's early in the year. If we can just keep building on what we're doing right now, it's going to really be a fun year for these guys.
There were so many positives to touch upon today, but we'll start with Fred Hunter, who was held scoreless in that first half of action, looked a bit out of sorts coming off the scoreless game and the limited minutes against Oklahoma State. He comes alive for 13 points and really had some tough physical rebounds in that second half as well. Fred back on top of his game in those final 20 minutes.
Yeah, Fred was back to being Fred and really got some toughness buckets for us in the second half down in the paint. And did a great job defensively again and got some big rebounds and just, you know, we keep telling him, when you decide to turn it on, there's nobody in the country we think that can do anything with you, certainly not in our league. So he's got to take that to heart. He's got to bring this on the floor every night. And I think in the first half, he was just trying too hard. He wanted to go. He wanted to go, and he had a couple of traveling calls and a charge, and it was just, you know, those weren't negative plays. That was him trying to make something good happen, and he'll polish that up and get better. And man, what an exciting duo, him and Bose. A lot of fun.
Meanwhile, Kenny Franklin Jr. hitting those two humongous threes down the stretch, and Kenny's a guy this year. Really, we've seen a lot of Colonels. They got the open look in a big spot, and they elect not to take it. Kenny Franklin showed no hesitation taking those shots today, and that was good to see.
You know, we've been telling Kenny consistently in practice that he's got to do that for us in a game. And he shot him at Oklahoma State, same shots, he just didn't go down. Tonight they went down for us, and they went down at a big moment in the game, and it really, I think, is the next dimension for this group offensively when you want to key on Fred and Tolley, and they really did late in the game, and they shrunk the floor, and those guys had no room to operate, but you find Kenny out there wide open. I think that's going to start happening for Ben Martin and Brian Hammond and some of those other guys as well. So really excited to see Kenny break through, and he needs to keep doing that for us.
Jordan Callahan, the point guard for Tulane, had come in averaging about 13.5 points, almost 6 assists. Really a fine point guard that they have there with the Green Wave. Today, 3 points. He only took 3 shots and was limited to 1 assist against 4 turnovers. What was the key to success against Callahan today?
You know, Callahan gets most of his buckets in transition. He's a strong, heady kid, and he just gets ahead of steam, and he goes at the rim. And I don't know if you noticed in the game, we always had 2 on him in transition. So whoever inbounded the ball, the defender who was guarding the inbounder cheated off, and we double-teamed Callahan in transition to get the ball out of his hands. And then they just didn't look for him in the half court. The half-court sets are designed to go to other people. So really a tremendous job by our guys of following the game plan and limiting his opportunities in transition. And really it turned out well for us.
This was a slugfest in the first half. It was a 20-20 ball game. Both teams are turning over the basketball at a pretty frequent rate. Shots just weren't falling for either club. What did you talk about in halftime? I know you want to keep it low scoring, but at some point you got to make some offensive game out of it. What did you talk about?
Well, I said, look, defensively I have no issues. You know, I pointed out to them that we gave up 7 second chance points and 4 points in transition. So 11 of their 20 came off of phases of the game we should be better at. So I said, clean that up. But 20 points and a half is pretty darn good. No real complaints there. But offensively, you're your own worst enemy. We're trying to go too quickly. We're not playing team basketball. We're trying to play one-on-one. We look terrible. We look like we don't know how to play the game on the offensive end. How about we just relax, be patient, and let things come to us? And bigger, more importantly, just play together. And then they come out on a 7-0 run to start the second half, and that's what we expect to see. And, you know, I knew that they would make adjustments and make it hard to continue to do that, but I thought we played better as a unit in the second half, looking for one another, looking to make the extra pass, really being more committed to getting the ball to the rim, but patient in the process of trying to get it to the rim. So great way to respond. You're 46 points in the second half. It's tremendous.
And only 4 turnovers in that second half, valuing the basketball tremendously in those second 20 minutes. Chris Richard, able to get him in early foul trouble. He was a non-factor in the first half. You took Callahan off his game. Richard came alive in the second half trying to keep him in, but he really was a non-factor for about 20 of his 25 minutes on the floor. You take those two out of the game, you got a pretty good shot at winning, whether your baskets are falling or not.
No question. I thought Kellen Carter did a tremendous job on Richard and Richard, however you pronounce it. And he got a couple late, really, that, you know, I don't want to take anything away from that program or make a disparaging comment, but they didn't matter. The game was really in a good place for us, and there were deep contested shots, and he's a good player. He's going to make some of those, but we felt like we had to make him really work hard for anything he got. I think Kel did a great job with that. We wanted to make someone other than Callahan and Richard beat us, and if they were going to beat us. And so, you know, the Timmons kids stepped up and had a good game, but you know, we didn't feel like there would be enough firepower elsewhere, and thankfully we were right. And you know, again, I thought we did a great defensive job. Even though these other guys weren't necessarily the go-to guys, they had opportunities to make plays. But we always seem to have guys in the right position, and I think they got the game down to a 2-point game, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, somewhere up in there. And we came up with, I think, 3 big stops in a row, and then came down and converted on the other end and just opened the game back up, and couldn't be prouder of them. What a fun night for the Colonels.
Colonels having a lot of fun so far this year, and hopefully it continues. You got Suno coming up on Monday. What are you doing to prepare for the Golden Knights?
Honestly, I haven't even looked at tape yet, but we'll dig into that tonight, and we'll start putting something together tomorrow and the next day. And you know, I hate waiting this long to see our guys play. I'm excited. We got another opportunity coming up in a few days, and can't wait to get back in the gym tomorrow with these guys and go to work on Suno.
Another Louisiana team. They better fear the Colonels here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
J.P. Piper, the head coach of the Colonels, joining us here as they defeat Tulane for the first time in 18 tries in program history. 66-52 is your final score. We'll take a timeout, come back with more here on the Postgame Report in just a moment. This is Nicholls Basketball on the Colonel Sports Radio Network.